Jazz Singer is a classic black and white 1927 film. It's a film that I saw for the first time recently thanks to Tubi. I love that streaming service. And the premise of the movie is about the son of a Jewish cantor who is forced to defy the traditions of his religious father in order to pursue his dream of becoming a secular musician. The movie is directed by Alan Crosland, starring Al Jolson, Mae McAfee, Warnie Oland, and this is a drama slash musical film. And I really enjoy this movie. This movie is based on the 1925 play of the same title by Samson Raphaelson. And Al Jolson, the lead actor in this movie, he performed 6 songs. So he plays the role as Jackie Rabinowitz. But later in the future, 10 years later, as he gets older, he changed his name to Jack Robin, which became a stage name. So in this movie, you see the dynamics and the great relationship between Jack and his mom. I love their chemistry. There's tremendous acting in this movie, but I really like the mother and son relationship. One of the things that I didn't like about this movie is that I feel that the mom was a little over the top emotional in this movie. And I'm one of those people that I don't like seeing, from an emotional standpoint, I don't like seeing it being displayed over the top. But I guess that was the role that she was offered, that they try to make her seem to be, or I guess that's how it was at that time. But in those times, definitely, it was a lot about respect, which I admire. In those old days, people were well dressed, respect, discipline, hard work, but also parents always want their kids to do what they were doing. So basically, they want the kids to live out their parents' dream. And it doesn't always pan out that way. We still see that to this day, but I feel that nowadays kids are more independent, they're more liberal, they're more fearless when it comes to wanting to pursue their own dreams and not what their parents want them to do. But in those days, parents were very hardcore in terms of, no, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do this career, you have to do that career. This will make you any money, that will make you a lot of money. So we still see that nowadays, but back then it was a whole different ball game. So, and in those days, you couldn't back talk to your parents, which I like. I feel like to a certain degree, you shouldn't back talk to your parents. However, in certain situations, I feel that you have the right to defend yourself, depending on the topic and what situation it is. So you see, that's one of the themes in this movie, that you see the father and the son not being on the same page. And you saw it right from the beginning in Act 1, where a young Jackie told his father that if he whips him again, that he'll run away. The father ends up whipping him, and he ended up running away. So Jackie, since he was little, he was always strong-minded, I should say, strong-willed. And he went out and lived out his dream. But what I liked about this movie is how it ended, because you saw that his father was sick. I don't mean to spoil for people, but if you haven't seen it, then I trust me, you should watch it. But basically, his father ended up getting sick, and you had his wife, which is Jackie's mom, telling him that, oh, if you sing, then your father might hear you, he might feel better, etc. So in the end, Jackie had to make a tough decision whether it's, you know, to perform on Broadway or to do this for the family. So it was like he was being pulled by both arms. But that was just phenomenal writing, phenomenal acting. I feel that the best acting and best writing came during Act 3, in my opinion. So, but the movie was great from start to finish. And this movie went on to make 3 remakes in the future: 1952 version, 1959 version, and 1980. I still haven't seen those, but after watching the 1927 version, I gotta see those other 3. And I don't know if you guys have seen on some of my videos in the past, but I'm gonna keep reiterating and I'm gonna repeat it here, is that nowadays I'm really into jazz genre a lot. Nowadays, I've always admired jazz, but nowadays I listen to it more frequently than ever. So anytime that there is a movie being made about jazz, whether it's classic or modern, I have to watch it. And I have no regrets watching this movie. This movie is top notch. I love classic black and white films, especially this movie, a movie that I feel that got inspired by this movie. And I could be wrong when I say this, but the movie The Artist that came out in 2011, I see a lot of the influence that the jazz singer played into that movie, because you saw a lot of because it's black and white, just like the jazz singer, and has a lot of subtitles. So, and it's musical on top of that. So I felt like that was interesting. Very interesting. But this movie is a beauty. You know, the silent era generation. Sometimes I wish I was part of that generation, the silent era. Silent era of the baby boomer, but more the silent era generation. It makes me appreciate how things were back then. Yes, obviously tougher times. There's pros and cons. In every generation, there's pros and cons. But the simple fact that when we're talking about respect, when we're talking about discipline, when we're talking about the value of putting family first, there was nothing like it. There was nothing like it. Those days were something else. And the way they were dressed as well. Nowadays you see a lot of tattoos, a lot of, it's a completely train wreck what we're seeing nowadays, but the old silent era generation, it was something, I feel like there was something special about that generation. So it's time for the movie review. From 1 through 5, I'm gonna go with a high 4.7 out of 5 stars. This movie is legit, is the real deal, and I highly recommend it. You can watch it on Tubi. Thank you for watching this video. Hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And as always, be safe, and may God bless you all.